Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome to this online engagement. I'm Zoel, the moderator of today, and really thank you. I see many familiar faces at the same time and see many new faces. This is a good scenario. So today, together with me, I have the team from APBGM SDG, the My SDG Secretariat, and also Dr. Ari and our speaker, Dr. Anna. Yeah, let's do like this, right? To welcome everyone. Okay, so this is an interesting sessions, I would say, because this word has built up since last year. What you have seen just now, the corporate video, is not just another event highlight, but it's one of the events that we have coordinated last year. We have coordinated last year to prepare for this roadmap. Actually, it's a build-up event. Let me show you a little bit of this background of this program and what we are going to do. And your participation is really important, not only for the upcoming ASEAN SDG SSE forum, but also for the next 5 years as we are going to work on the roadmap for 2026 until 2030. So what you have seen just now is our My SDG International Conference that we have hosted in Kuala Lumpur at 27 and 28. And for the information, we are going to host another ASEAN level forum on the 21st to 23rd May. And today, this program is the first online engagement to work on this roadmap, which means that from this month, next month, and in April, we are going to have 3 online engagement to collect public response to this roadmap, and we are going to present in the ASEAN Forum in May. Beside of the ASEAN Forum in May on the 21st and 22nd, we are going to present this roadmap to the IPA, International Interparliamentarian ASEAN Assembly, and also the ASEAN people on the 24th and 25th. And therefore, this I really appreciate the time that you have invested together with us. So this is the lineup that we have done. Basically, we have our last year program, and later on in the November, we also met with our regional partners in Manila, and they are agreed to take on after Malaysia become the chair of ASEAN this roadmap. There is interest to take on in the Philippines and also in Thailand. So today, we will break the sections into 3 components. First is the background introduction, is like what I'm doing now. And later on, we will have our speaker of the day, Dr. Adam, to share about an overview of prosperity and people in the ASEAN context and to stimulate some of our thinking process. And later on, we will break into 2 breakout rooms, which will be facilitated by Iman and also Hirza. Room 1 will focus on the challenge faced and also policy that could support from ASEAN countries. While Room 2, we will look into how SSE, what is social solidarity economy model, can use as a vehicle to accelerate SDG, and also how this model can impact the SDG. So this is what we are going to do for the next 1.5 hours. Maybe some of you have well known about SSE. Maybe some of you first time hearing what is SSE or come here to explore more what is SSE. And therefore, without further ado, I would like to invite our co-organizer, Isaac, and also the chairperson of Isaac, Dr. Ari, to say a few words. Welcome,
Okay.
Dr. Ari.
Thank you very much, Zoel, for the introductions and then describing the timeline of our advocacy. And thank you for all the participants coming from might be mostly Southeast Asian countries. My name is Eri. I am the chairperson of ASEAN Solidarity Economic Council. So that means the hub of the social solidarity economy practitioners. So the collective, the gathering of the social solidarity economic practitioners in Asia. but today we want to talk only for the issues of the Southeast Asia. So why, if you see the title, Drafting ASEAN SDGs SSE Roadmap, why should we put the SSE under to support the SDGs? As you know, currently, if we see the data, the achievement of the SDG in Southeast Asia, approximately about 16% from the total target. So it's still far away to the 100%. That means the deadline of the SDGs is in 2030. So to meet the goal, so we need to redefine the roles and relationships among the societal stakeholders. Both public, private, and then civil society must participate. We know this, but mostly that counted in the government in Southeast Asia, only two sectors: the government with the rules on facilitating the regulations, and the private sector with their capital driving the solutions. But mostly the third sector is mostly overseen. What is actually the third sector in the development? That is the civil society. That means the economic that drive by the community, by the people. So that is actually the SSE as promote for the SSE as a third alternative economic system that promoted that the people economy can support as well the achievement of SDGs. So today we would like to listen the best practice of the credit union Kelingkumang is one of the success credit union in Indonesia, which we can as well, if you know the credit union, we can see that these organizations as well practicing the SSE values. What does it mean? They are built not based on the capital owner, but mostly because the memberships are the foundations for the credit union. You know how much the members of the Kelingkumang Credit Union? It might be above the 180,000 peoples, and with the asset of the about 2 trillion rupiah or 2 trillion rupiah. This is about 100,000 US dollar. So the credit union is reflect the business entities who practice the SSE principles. Again, I try to bring more closer what is actually the SSE principles. Ethical value. So I'm sure that the Kelingkumang in the membership roles, they will more gender inclusive, working with the pluralism and promoting inequality as well among the members. And the second, social responsible governance. We can check in the Kelingkumang whether they have like the memberships assembly and decisions making involving the members in the process of decisions making. We can check it from our resource person today. And the third principle is people above profit. Yeah, and then the fourth, conserve the environment, and the fifth, economic sustainability. I'm sure that the credit union of the Kelingkumang has the economic sustainability because it has been established more than 15 years ago. Let's check to the Dr. Andang, yeah, because I'm not really remember in which year it has been established, but I know that it has been quite the long experience and long story of the Kelingkumang. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we can find that a lot of Kelingkumang credit union in Southeast Asia. I'm sure of it. We can find it a lot in Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and other countries in Southeast Asia. But because we can find the SSE entities not in kind of the credit union, just credit union, but we can see as well in the other type of organizations such as cooperative, social enterprise, self-help groups, and others. So therefore, again, back to reach the SDGs goals, we need this third sector to be accelerated, to be part of the drivers to reach the SDGs. Yeah. So again, because these organizations, the SSE entities, is working differently as the other private company. What is the difference? Because they are social governance. They work with the ethical. They have the social missions. So in the same time, while pursuing the economic purposes, they will be as well in the same time as reducing the inequality. So this is actually the core of our discussions today. But not only listening from the best practice of the curriculum, we would like as well to ask you, how can we support of SSE entities, another credit union activities? How can we accelerate this and make it flourish in many countries so we can, in the end, we can really convincing that the SSE entities can be part of the accelerations of the SDGs. So we can elaborate this in the breakout sessions. So I think so. Again, this is very interesting discussions today because this is not only listening, we will as well learning to each other. Put your idea in the breakout session. So this meeting, your voice will be facilitating to our conference in May and for advocacy to the ASEAN Secretariat. So again, I wish you have fruitful discussions, learning each other to others, and inspiring you all to continuing to do the good SSE principles in your businesses. Thank you very much, Joel. I bring it back to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ari. So today I see some good names from different regions. So before I introduce our Dr. Anang and also later we are going to break our rules, since this is a regional event, may I invite you to rename yourself and also put in your country so that we know. I saw that there is a Homeland People representative here, Bahai representative, and even in Malaysia we have people from like Onsen from the peninsula and Ruth from the Borneo. We have quite a significant, I would say that quite a significant demographic representative here. So I invite you to rename by putting in your country. And if you want to promote your organization, you may put in your organization as well. So later on, just prepare yourself in around 12:15. In around 12:15, we are going to have the breakout room sessions. So you may find a comfortable way, a suitable way to actually prepare for the breakout room sessions. If really you are not convenienced to on your camera and also mic, you are most welcome to write it down and share with our facilitator later. So for Dr. Anang's sessions, we will have a sharing, and because due to
Oh,
the time
dikirimin Pak
constraint,
Budi
we
tadi.
will not
Sorry.
be able to have the Q&A sessions or long Q&A sessions. If you really have any questions, I welcome you to put in the chat box as well. So Dr. Anang, we will see if we have enough time to pick up 1-2 questions to answer. All right, is that okay? Clear? Okay, if you're okay, you're available, give me a virtual thumbs up that I know that you are with me. Alright. Thank you very much. So without further ado, I would like to invite our resource person and speaker of the day. He did a lot of wonders, but he is very humble. He say, just mention my affiliation, but the affiliation is already quite impressive. So we have Dr. Anna from the director of the Center for Indigenous People, Climate Change and SDGs of Keling Kumang. Let's welcome Dr. Anna.
Thank you, Joel. Good morning for everybody and greetings from Sekadau, a very small city in West Borneo or West Kalimantan. And I'm working now as a researcher in Keling Kumang Institute of Technology, especially in the Research Center for Indigenous People, Climate Change, and SDGs. So I met Dr. Ellie and Joel here, and really a great honor for me to be invited to share what I know and our experiences about credit union. Actually, credit union is very common in the world, and Keling Kumang Credit Union is not the first one and not the biggest one, but I want to share how they can develop to ensure the people's needs, especially related to the SDGs. So in about 20 or 25 minutes, I want to share our experience and the challenges uh, relating to the government initiative. So we will also ask the government to support such an initiative, or in Dr. Eri mentioned already that this is a community-driven economy, but it needs also working together with the government uh, more and more. So I want to share the presentation I prepared. Hopefully, it could be followed better. This is the title. Um, my title is Gaining Holistic Prosperity with Kelingkumang Movement Network in Skadon Regency, Kalimantan. I mentioned the holistic prosperity because it's not only economic, but also ecological and social as well. Let me share first that a cooperative, everybody know, I think, that it is an autonomous association of persons voluntarily united to meet common economy, social and cultural needs and aspiration through jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprises. Once more, jointly owned, so it's owned by the members. To complete this definition, it is important to remember that the words, it stands for self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equities, and solidarity, and also according to the tradition of the founders, cooperative means belief in the ethical values of honesty, openness, social responsibility, and concern for others. However, there are many kinds of cooperative. According to its function, there are five cooperatives: consumer cooperatives, producer cooperatives, marketing cooperatives, and service cooperatives, and the last one is credit cooperatives. So, credit union actually is a credit cooperatives. It is a member-owned non-profit cooperative financial institution. However, in Indonesia, there are another word for um, for um, credit union. It is koperasi simpan pinjam. Actually, it is a different entity because it is only saving and loan cooperative, while credit union, coming from the word Latin credit, means trust each other. So in credit unions, the most important thing is the member itself, not the uh, the 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 capital, not the money, but the person, the human being. This is credit union. So um, I think it is important to share how we could try to answer the human being needs through or based on the economic needs. Oh, wait. This is Kalimantan, and this is West Kalimantan, and actually Kelingkumang Credit Union, working especially in the eastern part of Western West Kalimantan. So some people say it is Kapuas Raya, meaning some regencies like Sanggau, Sekadau, Melawi, Sintang, and Kapuas Hulu, while Kelingkumang Credit Union started in Sekadau Regency. It is really in the heart of Kalimantan, very remote area. It is about 250 kilometers from Pontianak. And most of the people are um, farmers, though I prefer to use peasants because in smallholders, farmers, especially palm oil. As we know that in West Kalimantan, the palm oil plantation is so massive like this, and the area of West Kalimantan is about 14.7 hectares, while 2 million and 200,000 hectares are palm oil plantation. It's about almost 14%, while the smallholders only the fifth, 1/4 of it. It is 535,000 hectares for the smallholders palm oil plantation. There are still rubber plantation, almost 600 hectares, but it is decreasing because of many factors, especially in the massive development of palm oil. While in Sekado, also about 1/4 of the area are palm oil plantation, and the smallholder is only 30,000 hectares. And there are still 40,000 hectares of rubber plantation compared to some regencies in Kapuas Raya like Sintang, Melawi, Kapuas Hulu, and Sanggau. This I show you the number, and in Melawi we see that it is more than 50% of the area are palm oil plantation. This is the development, extensive development of palm oil plantation in West Kalimantan. So actually, palm oil is a kind of paradigm for social paradigm for the people. I will see how that palm oil is a social paradigm is because of everything about life now in West Kalimantan, especially in Sekadau, related to palm oil, while rubber plantation is decreasing year per year. Like I show you the number, the rubber peasants or farmers decreasing from 300,000 to 221,000 to 291,000 only in 5 years, and the production is decreasing as well. And most of the Sekado and West Kalimantan, especially in Sekado, most profession are farmers or peasants. And it could be, we can see as well from the gross domestic product, almost 40% coming from agriculture. So let us see, let us discuss about the Kelingkumang, where becoming a kind of social movement start from Sekado. Sekado Regency itself, the inhabitants is 220,000, and the population about 70% are farmers. There are only 4 banks, modern banks. There are national banks like Mandiri, BRI, BNI, and Bank Kalbar, but no private banks like BCA, no. But there are about 8 credit unions, and Kelingkumang is one of them, but it is the biggest one in Sekadau. And out of 220,000 inhabitants of Sekadau, 47,000 are members of Kelingkumang credit unions. As I mentioned, there are some more credit unions, and probably 1% could be members of 2 or 3 credit unions. Kelingkumang credit unions started in 1993, and now the focus following the values of cooperative, the focus is on its members and also TBL. TBL means triple bottom line. It means that triple is the people, profit, and planet. And also we try to educate people for entrepreneurship. This is started in actually credit union in West Kalimantan start in the 70s or late 70s by Father Karim Arbi, and also Pak Robi Tulus. And Pak Robi Tulus still alive and living in Canada. While Keling Kumang actually is legendary persons of Iban. Keling is the man and Kumang is his wife. As I mentioned, cooperative values is self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equity, and solidarity. How are togetherness, solidarity, or mutual cooperation, self-help, and harmony with the nature. So actually, the cooperative values is very familiar for Dayak people in West Kalimantan. So that's why credit union could develop bigger and bigger during this 31 year. This is the central office Tapang Sambas in Sekado. I mentioned Tapang Sambas because it's a very small village in Sekado Regency where 4 brothers and sisters in Tapang Sambas established Keling Kumang Credit Union in 1993. Now, more than what Dr. Ellis said, the member of Keling Kumang Credit Union is in this year, in the beginning of this year, is 225,000, more than 225, and the asset is about 2.1 trillion rupiah, or more or less, if in US dollar, 129 million. Right now, the performing loan is about 1.7 trillion rupiah, or about 104 million US dollars. And while the loan delinquency, where the member could not pay regularly, is less than 4%. While the Keling Kumang Credit Union have some products to offer for its members, like Siska, Simpar, Taro, Sempana, something like that. I will not explain one by one, but the most interesting thing is that they use the Dayak language to communicate or to offer the product to the people, because out of 225,000 members, almost 75 are Dayak people. Now, after 31 years, Keling Kumang Credit Union becoming a kind of group. They call it Keling Kumang Movement Network. As we know, the first one is Keling Kumang Credit Union in 1993, but then there is another unit, the second one, the Keling Kumang Union. It was in 2011 and becoming Keling Kumang Union in 2019 only. It is a consumers cooperative. Then the third one is Keling Kumang Tabun Chua in 2016. It is a service cooperative. Then the fourth is Palm Oil Farmers Alliance in 2015 to to coordinate or to empower the palm oil peasants around Sekadau and Sintang Regency. The fourth one, then they try to educate the youth. So Kelingkumang Movement Network established a youth education foundation in 2014, and for this they have Kelingkumang Vocational School, and then also Kelingkumang Institute of Technology. And the sixth is Kelingkumang Yayasan Pemberdayaan Sumber Daya. It is an ecological and human resources foundation. And the last one, the seventh, is Kelingkumang Agro. It is a producers cooperative in 2021. What is interesting to share here is how they can develop based on economic needs of the people to develop for another needs like education, also for ecological awareness, and also for gender equality. Some people say it as a spin out instead of spin off, because it's trying to be getting not bigger for itself, but bigger for serving the people. So actually, if I could show you how they can develop like this, it starts with the concern for the peasants in Sekadau region in 1993. They established the Kelingkumang Credit Union. Then they develop for the prosperity of the people. Kelingkumang Union, it is a producers cooperative, and also youth education. Then peasants alliance, palm oil peasant or alliance, Kelingkumang for Kelingkumang Tabun Chua for resources, and also several things I mentioned already like this. But let us see. They have some activities as well. They work together with the government and also with some NGOs like Solidaridad, Aman, ICA, USA Segar, GIZ from Germany, Walhi Asia Foundation as well. For cultural needs of the people, they have Kelingkumang Festival and also Iban Summit, two-yearly cultural conference. But if we talk about the result of the movement and we connect it to the SDGs, let me try to show you the Kelingkumang Credit Union. The result is financial independence of the people, and also the people empowerment. While palm oil peasant empowerment by APKS, Asosiasi Petani Kelapa Sawit, Aliansi Petani Kelapa Sawit, or palm oil peasants, it is sustainable farming. So they offer and try to empower the peasants and the farmers to get the RSPO or ISPO certificate. RSPO is rentable certificate for palm oil or sustainable palm oil, and ISPO is Indonesian Sustainable Palm Oil. So hopefully that the empowerment getting related to the sustainable issues. And consumer cooperative, Kelingkumang Union, is all for the prosperity or from the profit, then for the member. And Kelingkumang Agro is a producer cooperative, but also peasant empowerment. The result is empowered peasants, empowered farmers, while service cooperative by Kelingkumang Tabun Chua, mostly for the profit, the prosperity of the people. But then two foundation is Yayasan Pemberdayaan Kelingkumang is for people's and ecological awareness, and youth education by Yayasan Pendidikan Kelingkumang or Kelingkumang Education Foundation. It is the education for the youth. Now, the member of Kelingkumang, as I mentioned, 210 or 225 thousands with the asset more than 2 trillion rupiah. Palm oil alliance is about 1,700 members with the asset about 55 billion. And then the KKU or Kelingkumang Union with 26,100 a member with the assets about 50 billion rupiah, and producer cooperative for the peasant empowerment as well is about, the member is about 910 and the asset about 74 billion. And this is Kelingkumang Tambun Chua a bit. For Yayasan Pemberdayaan Sumber Daya, no data yet, but they manage about 60 hectares of forest for ecological awareness of the people, and for Education Foundation, they have alumni about 3,500 students, and the assets about 83 billion. And how about the SDGs goal? We can say that from Kelingkumang Credit Union, we could say that it is related to SDGs goals number 1, 2, 3, and 5, because in the Kelingkumang Credit Union, there is a kind of division for gender equality as well. And APKS or APKS is number 1 and 12 for responsible consumption and production, because they empowered the peasants or the farmers to get, as I mentioned, RSPO or ISPO certificate. For the consumers cooperative, number 1 and 12, and for Kelingkumang Agro, it could be for number 8, because it the concerns is also for the decent works and economic growth and reduce inequalities. Kelingkumang Tambun Chua as well, 8 and 12. While the Foundation for People's Empowerment and Ecological Awareness is related to number 13 and 15. While the last one, Kelingkumang Education Foundation, is for number 4 and 5. But what I want to say is that in the beginning, there is no direct relation with the MDGs or SDGs. But since we can easily connect their concern with the SDGs, it means that since the beginning, the Kelingkumang Credit Union and also Kelingkumang Movement Network has a concern for, as I mentioned, holistic development, holistic prosperity from the people, includes the ecological empowerment. And also, last but not least, since they work together with some NGOs, it is also related to the goal number 17. Once more, that try to stick on the cooperative values: self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. And I would like to highlight 3 keys to success. The first one is not there why there are so many members, more than 200,000 members, because there is still relatively big trust among the members, among the administrators, and also between members and administrators. Well, credit union based on trust. Yes, they try to keep it and to still to be stick on the such trust. And the second one, why they can trust each other. The trust is supported by the Dayak values, as I mentioned, related to the values of Longhouse, and also because in the beginning, in the 70s, Catholic Church offered the people to establish a credit union, and the values of Catholic Church is also related to the cooperative and credit union's values. So the Catholic values support actually the trust among them. And finally, they, as an organization or as a institution, put a high priority in the members and the member and administrators' education. But also they work together and learn a lot from ICUP in Korea and Mondragon in Spain. But then, are people in SCADO prosperous enough right now? There are still a lot of questions because the poverty in West Kalimantan is still relatively high. And also the Human Development Index in SCADO is not so high. It is low, less than 70. So why? I went a bit faster. What's wrong with that? Well, it is not because of the Kelingkumang movement network, but because of the poor infrastructure in West Kalimantan. It creates high cost economy. As far as I know, road between two cities is relatively good, but between two region cities to district is like this. It's bad. And roads between smaller cities or district to villages like this, very, very, very bad. So the poor infrastructures creates high cost economy. So they could not develop very well. This is some data about the RAI or rural access index in Borneo is lower, just a bit bigger than in Papua. This is and also the situation is very bad. Almost 70% of the roads is non-asphalt road, and 44% is in a very poor condition. It is the irony of West Kalimantan. There is a flood of investment in villages, but poverty is higher than in cities. Still more than 600 villages in Kalimantan Barat underdeveloped. Finally, we can say to the government, try to build a better infrastructure. Besides this, from the government, credit unions need positive and affirmative support, especially on tax incentives and better regulation. For example, law on strengthening and development of the financial sector, number 4, year 2023, is too rigid because of its capitalistic paradigm. So it could hinder the efforts of credit unions to help people for their prosperity. This is my sharing. So finally, thank you for listening to me. Back to Soel.
Thank you, Pak Adang. and really appreciate the sharing. This is not about a project, but it's a transformation of a community. My mentor always say, in order to transform a community or nation, three forces have to come together: the government, the civil society organization, and the private sector. In Manila conference, we see how private sector's participation can empower the community. And now we really need to bring the three groups of people come together. So for the roadmap that we are going to draft later on, or going to present in the May to the civil society organization, regional civil society organization, or to the government through IPA platform, is really there's something we want to see how to get the three forces to come together so that we can utilize and leverage on one another's strengths. So before we're going to the breakout room. Do you have any question? Is there anyone have any questions? I see one from Tito. Maybe we can pick up one, two questions, then we can go to the breakout room. During the breakout room, we really want to hear your insight, your input. Some of you might already plan your calendar, block your calendar to come and participate in the physical meeting, to meet with other stakeholders and also network from the region. But some of you maybe still may not be coming, but your voice is matter. All right. So is there any questions? If not, maybe Pak Adam, there is a question from Tito.
Yeah.
It's about, does Kalim Kumang has a CSR? How do you analyze these questions?
It's very simple actually. Kelingkumang, the CSR of Kelingkumang is on the two foundations. First one's ecological foundation is Yayasan Sumber Daya with Taman Kelempia, with where we try to still have a 60 hectare of the forest, and also educational foundation is a kind of CSR of Kelingkumang, of Kelingkumang Credit Union. It's very easy to answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Adang. I think now when people talk about CSR, also they are thinking about linking with private sector, because private
Yeah.
sector always linking to work together with civil society organization for the community development. But the CSR framework have changed quite a lot. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe we have another Ali Matle from Baha'i International. Yeah, I get to know that two Baha'i International colleagues have joined us. Maybe our last questions before we go to the breakout room. So, Mr. Adam, you mentioned that the improvement of Clean Kumang is partly influenced by the application of Catholics' value as well as value of the local population themselves. What can other faith-based organization, Baha'i is a quite prominent faith-based organizations that can learn from Clean Kumang's experience in integrating spiritual value into its practice? What is your view?
Okay. Well, as I mentioned several times, that the base spirit of credit union is trust among the people. So, the Dayak values and Catholic values really support such trust, because they can trust each other. So if other religion or other spirituality try to develop such trust among its members, it could develop a kind of credit union as a kind of the way of people's economic development as well. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. But yeah, indeed, as we work closely with the community, we know it took a lot of time to build the trust and bonding.
Yeah.
That's the reason why transformation is really used years to work on it, to change the mindset, to build the bonding. But after all, it's the people. Do they feel that they are being empowered and being cared, or they are being propaganda or something? This is just my point of view. Right. Okay, so I think the time to hear from you is equally precious. So, Pak Adam, we will close the sharing sessions and we will allow the breakout room. And I will hand over to Hirza to facilitate the breakout room. Okay, Hirza.
Well, so I will start assigning the breakout room now. So there will be two breakout rooms. One will be handled by me and another one will be handled by Iman. And we will also post the questions in the breakout room to facilitate the discussion. So I will start creating one.
Okay, so this is the breakup room. That room one will look into the challenges faced and the policy support, and room two on how SSE model and also impact on SDG. You may choose the room that you feel relevant. Shirza, your room will be on which one?
My room will be on the second one, the second room.
Okay, Hirza will be leading this on the SSE model, while Iman will be leading on the ASEAN policy. Okay, all right. You may feel free to choose your rooms.